Good morning, everybody. Craig DeLeo here. And I was watching the video of President Trump with the president of South Africa, South Africa. And I had a moment of epiphany. And it struck me, and there was a phrase that came up to me that struck me. That's one of those phrases and one of those truths that is ingrained in the back of my brain. And this I'm not sure where I'm going to attribute this truth to and where I learned this truth. And I'm not sure if it's a Christian value or if it's a value that I learned from my early years in the Scottish British school system. I grew up in Lethamangus. My first primary school years were in the British school system in Lethamangus, Scotland. But the phrase is the best of us, but not better than us. And this is something I noticed with the way President Trump speaks to people. And it's not just President Trump, it's many of our political leaders. And it's something that I feel as a society we've lost, not just here in America, but globally. But it's something I've noticed more and more these years. And when I'm going to dog on President Trump, and I apologize for the fact that I'm going to specifically call him out on this one, but it's something I see in all of our political leaders. And it's the fact of the way they speak to people is very just not courteous. And it's the fact of I feel like they talk to people and the way they treat people is the fact of you feel like you are better than everybody. And I've been accused of this myself because I try to hold myself to a high standard. And this is something I fail at. And I've done a lot of things in my life that I'm not proud of. I've done a lot of mistakes. And this is something I go forward in my political life and believing that I'm not, my past is not without sin, but guess what? I fully own my mistakes and those have allowed me to grow and mature as a human being. But in those things, I hold myself to this standard. I try to achieve this standard. But when I recognize people and I see these people, I recognize the fact of I'm going to do my best to help this individual. I work with veterans that have made mistakes and ended up on the streets. They've been addicted to drugs and alcohol. They have had people steal from them. They've made poor financial choices. They've ended up on the street. That does not mean that they're not without value. They're still people. And again, these are the things that I emphasize is the best of us, but not better than us. I'm willing to get down in the dirt and help these people because guess what? They're still human beings. The systems we have in place right now are not built for people to succeed. And if people are willing to recognize that I'm flawed and I've made mistakes, guess what? We need to help them move forward and help them to achieve. They are still people and they're still worthy and value of our time. And again, this is the way our political leaders talk to each other, the way they talk to our constituents, the way we talk to other people is horrible. And I saw this with the way Mr. Trump was talking to some of the people that were there. Yes, some of them were asking stupid questions, and I'm like, dude, leave it alone. But the problem is just don't address it. You know what? If he's giving you crap and he's acting like a blankety blank, leave him alone. Just leave it be. You're there to have a conversation at that moment with the president of South America. This is where you acting like an S-head to everybody else in the room isn't going to help grow the situation and develop that relationship. I find I notice this with many of the political news media and all these hearings, I keep hearing arguments and decorum going and civil discourse just going to crap. This is not where we need to be as a country because guess what? When we have civil discourse, which is impossible in social media and everywhere in this country, even outside of social media, guess what? We can't get things done. And this is where we need to focus on getting things done, coming back together as a people and getting things done. And I think this is where the answer is going back to this mentality of, like Christ, the best of us, but yet not better than us. And I think this is one of the answers we need to focus on. So again, I love all you all. I love all my shipmates and have a super day.